the Venezianico Arsenale. It's a great integrated bracelet sports watch at a great price, but is it better than the Tissot PRX? We're here to talk about it. But first, I'm not a watch expert, I'm just a watch nerd, so if you've got anything controversial to say, or if I've said anything controversial and you want to disagree with me, go down below into the comments, and whilst you're down there, why not consider clicking that subscribe button, because only 5% of you lovely people are subscribed, and we want to bump those numbers up, because those are rookie numbers. You could also click that join button, support us directly, that would be amazing. Thank you very much. So, Venezianico. They've been making a few waves recently, but it's been very wavy coming from their direction. Venice, or Venice-ish based brand, makes them an Italian watch company, which you don't actually see as often as you'd think. And this is the first review sample we've had from Venezianico, so big shout out to the guys over there. And to be honest, I've been impressed, haven't I, Terry?
I've been impressed as well.
It's lovely. That was my first impression. Even seeing the photos, it's lovely. So we'll go over some specs. As you'd expect, it's made of 316L stainless steel. Nothing to really say there. It's got a 40mm diameter and a lug to lug of 40mm. It's a little bit longer than one would think, just because there's not a complete drop off on that very first link, but to be honest, it's still pretty good. There's a pretty good drop off, and it actually wears fairly well for an integrated bracelet sports watch, but it's still got like a decent curve you'd expect, but to be honest, it still fits on the wrist really nicely. What did you find, Terry?
I think it did slot on my wrist quite nicely. I wish, probably my only criticism is that it would have been very nice if it had a bit of micro adjust.
I'll get to that. God damn it. In terms of thickness, it's 8.95, or very, very close to 9mm thick. And to be honest, it wears beautifully. It's a stunner. It wears so nicely on the wrist, it's great. The movement is something we're going to talk about more because it's a weak point for this watch, but we'll get to why that is. It's a Miyota 9029 automatic movement, so it's still automatic, which is very nice, but there's nothing that spectacular. Water resistance, 50 meters. Again, it's got to play catch up with the PRX there. And that dial. It features skeletonized hands and a Côte de Genève finish on the dial itself. Just looks phenomenal. Back to the bracelet though a moment. The bracelet itself looks beautiful. It's really comfortable, really nice. It's a great design. They're H style links, but the biggest issue Terry and I both found is A, it lacks micro adjust, and B, it lacks half links. So you can't fine tune the fit, which can be a bit of an issue. Terry and I both found it either wore a little bit tight or a little bit big, and we would have really appreciated some half links. Compare those specs with the Tissot PRX, which is what we want to compare it to. No idea on power reserve, probably around 40 hours. 80-hour power reserve on the Tissot PRX. 50 meters water resistant to 100 meters water resistant. Fair enough. You get a date on the Tissot. No date on the Venezianico. You do get half links on the bracelet, however, I keep my PRX on this Wrist Buddies rubber strap. Shout out to Wrist Buddies for sending us these. Not sponsored, but they sent us them for free. Full disclosure. It's great on this strap, but on the bracelet it does have half links. You can fine tune that fit. There's no seconds hand on the Venezianico, which, if there were, it would be a smooth running seconds hand because it has a running speed of 28,800. The Tissot does have a running seconds, so if you need a running seconds and a hacking seconds to boot, you're going to be going with the Tissot, okay? So there's lots of specs that the Tissot beats out the Venezianico on. Better water resistance, better power reserve, date, half links. Interestingly though, it's a push-in, pull-out crown versus a screw-down crown, which I quite like. Sapphire caseback versus a very nice carving. It's very nice, just a little bit sharp. It's a little bit sharp, and that sharpness also extends to the crown. The crown, it does, like, it's a good crown. Again, just feels a little bit rough to the touch. But all of that isn't until you get to price. So on a bracelet, the Tissot PRX in 40mm is £640. Quickly chucking the price of €656 for the Venezianico into some currency translator. That's not the word.
It would do.
Yeah, you get what I'm trying to say. I've got too many thoughts going on in my head right now. That is £545, so £100 less expensive for the Venezianico. And I haven't mentioned the most salient fact. It looks better. It simply looks nicer. Obviously, it's a different style. Côte de Genève on the dial. And the Côte de Genève looks stunning. Truly does. The bracelet looks stunning. It looks like a watch that costs far, far more than it does. Versus the waffle dial and the much more industrial style bracelet. I mean, the polishing on the bracelet on the Venezianico is levels above. You have different facets, you have a chamfered edge, you even have screw links. The build quality of the bracelet is far and away better. Yes, they've cut corners. We mentioned the sharp crown. The carving on the back looks phenomenal, as I said, but it's just a little bit rough to the touch. But in all honesty, the package with the Venezianico is stunning. It matters what you want, obviously. Specs-wise, if you want more water resistance, if you want a better power reserve, if you want a weekend-proof watch with a Swiss movement, you're going to go with Tissot, obviously. But if you want to save £100 and get something that still looks phenomenal, sure, you're not going to have as many strap options with the Venezianico, but it's even a much better unboxing experience. Does that matter when you're wearing it? No, but I think I'd go for the Venezianico. And bearing in mind, this is my Tissot. This is my Tissot that I own, that I wear fairly often. But Venezianico's won me over just by being pretty damn sexy. You get me, Terry? I just wish it had half links.
Half links, micro adjust. Personal taste, I'd like something a little bit more on a dial. It needs a seconds hand.
Yeah, running seconds would be very nice.
Something to me just feels missing, whether it's their name, something's missing for me.
Well, it says Venezianico on the dial.
Yeah, but it says at the bottom.
Yeah, I like that simplicity. It's not screaming about what it is. It's the feature of the dial is the Côte de Genève and how it catches the light. I think it's lovely. They didn't overcrowd the dial. They did it perfectly.
In your opinion. In mine, I like a bit of writing on the dial.
You're wrong. Boo, Terry! Everyone boo this man. No, you're not wrong. It looks better than that, where it says Tissot 1853 PRX automatic or Powermatic 80 Swiss made. That's too much.
I do think there's no excuse to have the sharp etching on the case back.
Feel it again. It's not that bad. The crown bothers me more.
Everyone I've given it to has picked up on the sharp etching.
But the crown bothers me more.
Yeah, that's too sharp.
Yeah. It's not something you're going to injure yourself on, but it's just something that's a little bit uncomfortable. What do you guys think? Would you go for this? Or would you go for the Tissot? That's the way I was holding it all video, so I'll change it back. Which one would you go for your money? £550 versus £640? It's an interesting question. Tell us down in the comments. And whilst you're down there, why not like, subscribe, ding that bell icon so you never miss another video. Maybe consider clicking that join button, supporting the channel directly, just like everyone on screen did now, because they're the best people in the world. They are beautiful, they are lovely, and you are beautiful and lovely as well, just slightly less beautiful, if you've got to the end of this video. So thank you very, very much. You know what I'm going to say next. Say it with me. Watch yourselves.